chapter 1 of my book, Effortless Conversations. This is the EPUB version I'm going to be reading. You can also get it in paperback. You can get it in Kindle from Amazon. You can get it in paperback from Amazon and other online bookstores. So look it up. It's called Effortless Conversations, written by me, Mark Stubbles. Overcome social anxiety to unlock your natural charisma. I'm going to be, as I said, reading chapter 1. I'm going to be giving some commentary as I read chapter 1 of the book. I came up with the idea for this book because I was seeing a lot of talk about AI, how AI is going to destroy the world and everyone's gonna lose their job. A lot of people already have lost their jobs, and that's obviously going to create a knock-on effect, because if someone loses their job as an accountant, they're not going to be able to go out to restaurants, and that means that people who work in restaurants are going to lose their jobs as well. So it's a worrying time, and I started to think about, what would set people apart from AI? What advantage could people have over AI? And social skills is, the main advantage that people can have over AI, and that's basically what I explained in chapter 1 of the book, which I will now get on and read for you. So, chapter 1 is called The Human Connection Revolution. So, why your natural charisma is about to become your greatest asset. Heard the whispers about AI transforming our world, worried about the future. For a lot of people, the change has already come. But while everyone else is panicking about robots taking jobs, I want to share something with you that will completely shift your perspective. We're entering the greatest era in history for human connection. So AI, as I said, might be taking jobs, but being able to connect with people is going to be what sets you apart. And online dating, things like that, people are starved of genuine human connection. So learning social skills is going to give you not just an advantage, it's going to set you apart completely. It's going to, people aren't used to connecting with people that know how to connect with them anymore. So that is the premise of this book, and as I said, what I'm explaining in this chapter. So as you read that right, yes, you read that right. In an age of AI, artificial intelligence, your ability to create genuine, effortless conversations to unlock your natural charisma and influence is about to become the most valuable skill you can possess. Not just for your career, but for every meaningful relationship in your life. Before we dive in to why conversation skills are your secret weapon, let's acknowledge what's really happening around us. We're living through what researchers call an intimacy crisis. Despite being more connected than ever through technology. People report feeling lonelier, more misunderstood, and more disconnected from authentic relationships than any generation before. So, as I was saying, if you can connect to people on a deeper level, you're going to be offering them something very special. And it's not difficult to connect to people on a deeper level. And we'll find out more about that as we go through this chapter. Dating apps promise connection but deliver endless superficial swipes. Social media offers community but breeds comparison and isolation. Now, AI companions that can provide comfort and consistency are emerging, but as early research shows, people who rely heavily on AI for emotional support report feeling heard but not understood. They experience the responses they want to hear but miss the reciprocal vulnerability that creates genuine bonds. And again, a lot of people say this about AI. It's always trying to praise you, and I've seen some commentators say this is increasing mental illness. It's causing people to develop a kind of God complex. And, you can be rude to AI, you don't have to say please or thank you, and this is obviously going to affect your social interactions. You're going to be interacting with real people the same way you interact with AI. So I now talk about my journey from isolation to connection, because I know what it feels like to be disconnected from authentic relationships, because I lived with it for decades. I grew up with a lot of dysfunction. I grew up with a lot of narcissistic abuse, with a very narcissistic family. I became what many people would call shy. I blushed very easily. I developed a phobia of blushing. I've also written another book called Beyond Blushing, and again you can find that on Amazon, my website, link to which is in the description. I've also written a course called Easily Stop Blushing with Hypnosis and NLP. You can find that on Udemy, and you can find my course that goes with this book on Udemy as well. Anyway, back to the book. When children experience constant criticism and belittlement, being told there's something fundamentally wrong with them, they internalize that abuse. It creates a negative inner voice that attacks them again and again, repeating the same toxic messages from childhood all throughout their lives. They're going to develop negative self-talk, a negative inner voice that will continue to attack and put them down the same way narcissistic family attacked, put them down. In my case, I developed a deep level of paranoia. I felt that everyone was against me, that people were talking about and laughing about me behind my back. I developed toxic shame, and it manifested physically. I would blush at the slightest discomfort, which would then be pointed out to me by my narcissistic family, making me hyper aware of it. Eventually, blushing became a triggered response, and yet another source of shame in my life. I became defensive and judgmental of others as a way to try and elevate myself. I believed that attack was the best form of defense. But this behavior made it even harder for me to connect with people. I created toxic relationships, suffered a nasty divorce, and that resulted in even more isolation. For me, I think everything started to change when my child was born. I wanted to become a better parent to my own child than I had been. So I did start to look for ways to communicate with my child in a more less dysfunctional way. Where was I? I wanted to be a better parent than what I had had. This was the catalyst for seeking out a solution. When I finally overcame my fears and started getting to know people, I discovered something profound. Everyone's the same. Nearly everyone fears rejection. Nearly everyone just wants to get along with others. I put in the book, I think I would have said, be liked by others. People actually seemed to like me and they wanted me around. I became kinder to myself and kinder to others. I met kinder people than the ones I'd grown up around. And they supported my growth. This journey taught me that authentic connection is about being genuine, vulnerable, and human. If you've ever felt your face burn with embarrassment during a conversation, or noticed your hands shaking when you had to speak up in a meeting, you understand that social anxiety isn't just in your head. Social anxiety in general is a full body experience. It can feel overwhelming and impossible to control, and it's not a good idea to try and control your anxiety, because what resists not only persists but becomes stronger. The more you try and fight against negative emotions, try and suppress them, the more negative emotions you're going to get. Likewise with negative thoughts. If I tell you not to think of a purple aeroplane right now, what's the first image that comes into your head? It's a purple aeroplane. Your mind has to bring up what I'm telling you not to think about, so you can know not to think about it. So the physical symptoms of social anxiety are real, and they can include blushing and flushing, that telltale redness that creeps up your neck and face, often becoming more intense when you realize that others might notice it. For many people, the fear of blushing becomes almost as distressing as the blushing itself, and it creates a cycle of anxiety. One of the symptoms of blushing, one of the symptoms of anxiety is blushing. So the more anxious you become about blushing, the more you're going to blush. Sweating, dampness under your arms to a completely soaked shirt. Sweating can make you feel exposed and self-conscious, especially in professional sweatings. And that makes you feel like everyone can hear your heartbeat, often accompanied by a shortness of breath. Stomach issues, nausea, butterflies, or even digestive problems that can strike at the worst possible moment. Voice changes. Your voice might become higher, softer, or start to crack, making you feel like you sound weak or uncertain. Muscle tension. You're going to hold a lot of tension in your neck and your shoulders. It's going to lead to neck issues, migraines, all kinds of problems. Back to the book. Clenched jaw, rigid posture. It's going to make you feel stiff. It's going to look unnatural. Here's what I want you to understand. These physical responses don't mean you're broken or weak. They're your nervous system's way of trying to protect you from what it perceives as social threats. The problem is that this ancient survival mechanism isn't very good at distinguishing between actual danger and everyday social interactions. But I have encouraging news. As you develop genuine confidence, your connection skills, these physical symptoms naturally diminish when you're no longer fighting against your body's responses, but instead working with them. You'll find that anxiety transforms into energy. Nervousness becomes excitement, and those anxiety symptoms stop bothering you. I cannot remember the last time I blushed, and blushing was once a major issue for me. It used to happen several times a day until I eventually banished it with hypnosis. That's why I believe in hypnosis, because I've been able to use hypnotherapy to overcome some very, very severe problems in my life. So I know how powerful it is, I know how well it works. Back to the book. Why connection is career currency. Let's start with the professional benefits of overcoming social anxiety and mastering conversations. This is where the transformation is most obvious and urgent. I recently learned about a tech startup that boosted their conversion rates by 340% in 6 months. Their secret wasn't better AI tools, though they used those too. Their breakthrough came from what they call human translation. Here's how it worked. They used AI for initial copy, variations, data analysis, and testing thousands of options simultaneously. But then they applied something AI could never replicate: deep human insight. They understood that while AI can generate technically good content, AI content, you can really spot it. Always says it's not if, it's but, or it's not this, but it's that, whatever. It's a big telltale sign, and there's always big M dashes everywhere. They understood that while AI can generate technically good content, only humans can truly grasp the unspoken fears, desires, and cultural context that audience brings to every interaction. The pattern is emerging everywhere. AI handles the computational work. So, as we were saying, if you're in a computational kind of job like an accountant or something like that, you're going to struggle to compete against AI, because it's going to be able to do everything that you can do much quicker. But developing social skills is something AI can't compete with you on. So, where was I? But humans handle the meaningful connections. The professionals who are thriving aren't those fighting AI, they're those using it to amplify their most human qualities. Consider what's already happening across industry. Sales teams are using AI to research prospects and generate initial outreach, but the actual conversations where deals are made or lost, they still depend entirely on human rapport and influence skills. So let me know your thoughts on these things. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Back to the book. Leaders are leveraging AI for data analysis and strategic planning, but their ability to inspire teams, navigate conflicts, and build trust remains purely human. Entrepreneurs are using AI for market research and content creation, but their success still hinges on their ability to pitch investors, recruit talent, and build customer relationships. The executives and entrepreneurs who will dominate the next decade won't be those with the best AI tools. They'll be the ones who master the art of human connection while their competitors are distracted by technology. Again, if you want to master the art of human connection with hypnosis, overcome social anxiety, etc., you can go to my website marksdoubles.com, book a call, and we can help you do that with the power of hypnosis. Back to the book. Love in the age of algorithms. This revolution extends far beyond your career. In fact, the most profound transformation may be happening in our personal relationships. Dating has become increasingly algorithmic. Apps analyze compatibility based on data points and surface level preferences. People swipe through potential partners like they're shopping for products. And yet, despite all this technological optimization, genuine connections feels more elusive than ever. Here's why. Algorithms can match based on shared interests and demographic compatibility, but they can't create chemistry. They can't manufacture that moment when someone feels truly seen and understood. They can't replicate the subtle dance of conversation that builds attraction, trust, and emotional connection. The people who are successful in dating and relationships, whether they're finding love for the first time or reigniting passion in long-term partnerships, they understand something crucial. Authentic attraction happens in conversations, not in profiles, not in photos, but in those moments of genuine connection where two people discover they understand each other in ways that feel almost magical. So again, that was what I was saying, and because so many people are isolated and reliant on technology, that means that people who can actually offer genuine connection really stand out. That's going to really set you apart from all the other people they meet. The friendship and family factor. The same principle applies to every relationship in your life. As our world becomes increasingly digital and transactional, the people who can create genuine emotional connections become extraordinarily valuable, both professionally and personally. Think about the people in your life who you most enjoy being around. They're not necessarily the smartest, the most successful, or the most physically attractive. They're the ones who make you feel heard, understood, and appreciated. They're the ones who can navigate difficult conversations with grace, who can make you laugh when you're stressed, who can offer support without judgment. These people have mastered something that no AI will ever be able to replicate. The ability to make others feel genuinely connected to another human being. Understanding the AI advantage and its limits. To truly appreciate why conversation skills are becoming so valuable, we need to understand both what AI can do well and where it fundamentally falls short. AI strengths: pattern recognition from massive data sets. Again, if you're an analyst or something, you're going to be in trouble with AI. Consistent, reliable output at any hour. Processing vast amounts of information simultaneously. Optimizing for specific measurable outcomes. AI never gets tired, emotional, or distracted. So what are its limitations? It has cultural blindness. It can mimic tone but misses cultural nuance and context. It's emotionally shallow. It recognizes sentiment patterns but can't feel genuine empathy. Innovation boundaries. It recombines existing patterns but struggles with true paradigm shifts. Relationship depth. It can simulate caring but can't offer reciprocal vulnerability. And this is why your natural human abilities are so powerful, so important. Properly developed, they're going to become incredibly powerful. You can read micro expressions that reveal what someone really thinks. And you can do this. Everyone can do this. Most people don't realize they can do this, but you can do this in seconds just by looking at someone. You can tell what they're feeling. You can read their expressions. You can sense hesitation that signals unspoken concerns. You can create moments of genuine understanding that build lasting trust and influence. The effortless conversation advantage. Throughout this book, we'll explore what I call effortless conversations, interactions that feel natural and spontaneous, but actually built on deep understanding of communication psychology. These aren't manipulative techniques or scripts to memorize. Instead, they're ways to unlock your natural charisma by aligning your communication with how the human mind actually works. You'll discover how to read the subtle signals that reveal what people really want, even when they don't say it directly. Again, most people don't even know what they really want. So something that AI can never learn, it can never understand. The psychology behind instant rapport and how to create it authentically in any situation. Why some people naturally command attention and respect, and how to develop that same presence. The conversation patterns that build attraction in romantic relationships. I will be revealing them in this book. The influence techniques that feel natural rather than pushy or manipulative. Practical strategies for managing the physical symptoms of social anxiety so they don't interfere with your connection. The new human premium. As AI becomes more sophisticated, an interesting paradox is emerging. The more artificial our environment becomes, the more we crave authentic human connection. And that's why I'm doing these lives, because apparently people prefer these kind of authentic videos as opposed to jump cuts and things. Researchers are calling this the human premium, the increased value we place on genuine human experience as artificial ones become commonplace. You can see this already happening. Handwritten notes feel more meaningful than typed emails. In-person meetings are more valued than video calls. Personal recommendations carry more weight than algorithmic suggestions. Human customer service is seen as a premium to chatbots. When you go to the supermarket, you prefer using those self-scan checkout things, or do you prefer having an actual cashier, someone that you can, talk to? Let me know what you think. Leave a comment. Back to the book. This trend will only accelerate as AI handles more routine interactions. Your ability to create genuine human connection becomes exponentially more valuable. Whether you're building a career, finding love, or strengthening relationships with family and friends, your conversation skills become your greatest differentiator. So saying, let me know what you think. Your conversation revolution starts now. The opportunity before you is unprecedented, while others are either paralyzed by technological change or trying to compete with AI at its own game. You can spend your time developing the skills that make you irreplaceably human. It's about becoming more authentically yourself, more naturally charismatic, more genuinely influential, more effortlessly connected to the people who matter most in your life. You're not going to learn how to act like you have social skills and confidence. You're actually going to develop social skills and confidence. You're going to uncover natural charisma you never knew you had. The revolution in human connection is here, and it starts with mastering the art of effortless conversation. In the chapters that follow, we're going to dive deep into the psychology and practical techniques that will transform every interaction you have. You'll learn to unlock your natural charisma, build genuine influence, and create the kind of connections that enrich every area of your life. As you embark on this journey to master effortless conversations and unlock your natural charisma, remember that true transformation comes not just from understanding, but from doing. To help you apply every strategy, internalize each mindset and shift, and truly make these skills your own, I've created the Effortless Conversations workbook. Then I talk about the workbook. And there's a link where people can input their email address and download the workbook. If you buy the book Effortless Conversations through my website, markstubbles.com, link in description, you will be able to download the workbook right away. Also, if you do the course, which you can find on Udemy, you can also download the workbook right away. And you'll download the PDF version of this book, so you can get that there. As I said, you can also get the book Effortless Conversations, Overcome Social Anxiety to Unlock Your Natural Charisma. You can get that on Kindle. You can get it in EPUB format. You can get it on the Google Play Store. You can get it in paperback. Just put Effortless Conversations, Overcome Social Anxiety to Unlock Your Natural Charisma into Google. You'll find it in paperback as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this live stream. Let me know if you want me to read chapter 2 of the book, or if you want me to read a chapter from another book. Leave a comment below. Let me know. Maybe I will do that tomorrow night. Thank you for watching and good night.